I just got out of a session with a client and it's fresh on my brain, and I wanted to share it with you because I know you've experienced this too. Maybe not super consciously, but hopefully with this video, it'll help you do so more consciously because it's not a one and done thing. This happens a lot. So this particular client has her own form of a coaching business, more health oriented. And we've been working together for 6 months. That means she's been practicing alignment for 6 months every day. One of the things that I require with my clients, it is a deal breaker, is that they engage in what I refer to as a daily alignment practice. And these are a set of practices that I tailor to the client because nobody's going to do something every day that they don't want to do and that doesn't really work for them as the unique individual that they are. But they engage in this practice once we kind of hash that out every single day for 6 months. And what happens is throughout that period of time, as they practice every day, accessing a higher state of alignment, of clarity, of connection, of intentionality, of consciousness, their vibration raises. Your neurology rewires to support that. And it becomes habitual. It becomes sort of like your resting or default state, but it continues growing higher and higher. Now, after 6 months, some clients renew, some clients don't. In this case, she did. And so we started off our first session of the new 6-month stretch, or 3 months we're doing. She starts off with it and she's like, I feel like I am starting over. And she didn't mean that in a good way. She meant it in a, like, I feel like it's from like back to ground zero here where I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not feeling super clear and energized. Now, here's the kicker. Everything is actually going really well for her. She met a lot of her goals that she had when we first started working together. She became the version of herself that she needed to be to hold those goals in her reality, sustain them. Because in my last video, if you watched it, we talked about that, okay, great, you manifested something. Now what? How do you hold that as your new reality? How do you build that capacity to own it as your new reality versus it just being like this one and done thing, or every once in a while I manifest something cool, but it takes forever before that happens again, or it goes away right away. There's another part of the deal here. You have to build up your vibrational and emotional and mental and energetic capacity to hold that as your new reality. So she, we've been doing that along the way, but this is where it became very, very apparent. It's like, all right, you're actually at a new level of success here. You achieved those goals. You are thriving, but she's experiencing that thing that happens that nobody talks about, is that when you get to the new level of success in a business, it's like, be careful what you wished for sort of thing. Or if you like, more money, more problems sort of thing. So in other words, she's got a lot more people to serve, but she's only one person. She used to be able to do that as one person when she had less people to serve. And now she's recognizing essentially that she needs to expand her team, but it's like she's doing so from this space of fatigue and overwhelm and potential burnout. She happens to be launching a program this month as well. It's going very, very well. The numbers are great. She's struggling. So she's talking to me about that. She's like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just tired all the time. I want to nap every day. What's wrong with me? And, fortunately I was able to point out to her that this is actually a very natural occurrence, but we don't think it is. We don't know what it is because nobody speaks to this. And this is where a lot of self-sabotage can happen. A lot of that, inability to normalize the new success and start building around it. And part of that is building a new foundation of alignment that supports who you are now at this level of success, who you are now after the achievement, and not in that way of like, I don't mean hold or build the capacity to hold on to it. Otherwise it's going to go away. Like grip so hard, grasp so hard, because it's finite. I don't mean that at all. I mean it in this sort of like, yeah, this is my new norm, and I can have it be my new norm, and I can continue to build from here if I want to, because it's not, throwing me all over the place energetically and wreaking havoc on my nervous system or making me dependent on dopamine hits when somebody says yes to my offer. I actually get to glide here and thrive here because I have new things in place that support that. I wasn't ready for this type of supportive alignment foundation initially. First, I had to build up the capacity for alignment. Now that I'm here, and the universe is bringing me things to match that, that reflect my internal state. Now what? Now what do I need? That's the golden question. Now what do I need? What does my daily alignment practice need to look like here? And for her, I mean, she's busy, man. She's busy, and yes, she'll build out her team and she'll get the right help, but that's time and energy consuming. And in the process, she first and foremost needs this feeling of being grounded and centered and calm. Yes, even when there are emails to respond to and things that she has to do and account for now that she has all of those clients to do it with and for. And so the brain wants to argue with you and say, like, okay, no, I can't sit and journal. I can't focus on gratitudes. I can't meditate because I got to answer those emails. And plus it's a brand new school year and I have a kid and there's new requirements and new routines there. Like, of course you're going to be feeling chaotic. But it's like, I'd like to use the metaphor like when you graduate from undergrad, from college, like you just went through 4 years, you earned your diploma or your degree, and now you're embarking on graduate school. And the first day of graduate school is super like discombobulating and overwhelming and you feel like a newbie, right? But you just require different things. And one of those things is to acknowledge where you're at now. Like, I am not a newbie. I am a newbie in graduate school, perhaps, but with 4 years under my belt of experience and of becoming and of, really rising to that challenge. And I can rise to this challenge. I just need different things here. So we spent a hefty amount of time today redesigning her daily alignment practice and identifying what's going to support her here. And the biggest part is basically you have to get grounded first. You're chasing the dopamine high that happens when you're successful and you've got people saying yes to your offer, which is great. It's a great problem to have, but it can definitely take you down another road full of different challenges. We'll just say that. And there are things to be mindful on that path. So rather than building the capacity to hold more dopamine hits, it's going to serve you better to just, what does being grounded and centered and calm and regulated look like here? How can I foster this awareness and experience of there's safety at this new level of success? It is safe for me to receive this. It is safe for me to enjoy this and to build from this. And it's possible for me to not run around like a crazy person at this level. There are things I can do where, I don't have to experience it as overwhelming as it might seem right now. So that's all to say that when you're up-leveling, when you're achieving your goals, when you're manifesting that next level, and you've become, by the way, you're always becoming that version of yourself that you need to be in order to even receive those achievements, those manifestations. And then again, it's what do I need here to be able to hold it, to be able to live comfortably and thrive and not be having my nervous system spike every 2 seconds because it's all brand new. How do I acclimate? How do I normalize this? And again, what do I need? What's going to be supportive here? So I hope that helps you if you've experienced that before. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Nova Whiteman. If you've made it this far, I wrote a book called How Awake and Aligned, How to Navigate the Human Experience as a Spiritual Being. You can find it on Amazon. Chock full of stuff like this. It's the nuance, right? It's the sneaky stuff that trips us up. So you can go get your copy of that.